The selected one. Hear me via your spirit, not your ears. You aren't here by coincidence. This is not a coincidence, algorithm, or chance. This is a divine appointment. Heaven has guided your steps to this precise moment. And there is a reason you are watching right now. The clock of destiny has struck, and you are on the threshold of a spectacular transformation. The selected one. Today is not just another day. This is the day. The window that has been open for months is becoming smaller. The prophesied hour has come. The Kairos moment was predetermined before the world was formed. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 explains that the term refers to everything. Every purpose under God has its own season and timing. And Habakkuk 2 verse 3 states that, despite the vision, we must wait for it since it will come. There will be no delays. That time has finally come. You are on the edge of a heavenly transfer formation, which might emerge now, tonight, or in the next hours. The transformation you've wished for, the emancipation you've sought, is pushing through the veil of your reality. This is sacred time. Heaven has arranged your breakthrough. Prepare your heart for today. Destiny demands a response. The selected one. Lean in. This is not a daily occurrence. Heaven has crushed upon your soul, whispering via dreams, aligning numbers, and providing unambiguous signs. You are currently standing on a threshold, the last chance before a major spiritual portal closes. I am not saying anything to scare you. I say this because I've passed through these gates and know the agony of missing the hour when destiny knocks. You've had months, if not years, of annoyance and delays. You feel as if you're standing in front of a locked door, holding the key in your pocket. However, today the door gleams. Heaven commands, turn the key. If you delay, you risk becoming locked in another cycle of circling the same peak. I know because I was there expecting God to drop a miracle in my lap, not realizing He was waiting for me to take the first step. The first spiritual temptation is to wait for divine timing while doing nothing. It seems sacred. It sounds like faith, but it's really dread disguised as surrender. I murmured something to myself. If God wants me to have something, He will supply it. If the timing is right, He will open the door. It had a mysterious vibe about it while yet being safe. Heaven never asked me to be safe. Heaven encouraged me to take a step, even when the ground underneath me was uncertain. I did, and the earth emerged. The selected one. This trap is dangerous because it seems noble. It persuades you that silence equals trust. But it is true. Divine timing is not passive. It is a clash between your obedience and heaven's opportunity. God breathes on even the little steps you take. However, if you do not move, He will have nothing to bless. Think about it now. Are you waiting for money before you start building what God has placed in your heart? Waiting to feel well before opening your heart to love again? Waiting for thunder, ignoring the gentle small voice that encourages you to create? To speak is to act. That waiting is the trap that leaves you trapped, and it almost becomes the graveyard where destiny dies. I remember beseeching God for clarity. Night after night, I prayed, "Show me my calling." Silence. Then one day, I grew tired with waiting. I achieved something little. I made an encouraging comment to a pal. That one movement broke something open. Opportunities flooded in like a downpour. Not because I had a comprehensive map, but because I dared to go. Here's how paradise works. The sign will not arrive later. The clue is already there in the desperation that grips your spirit. The fact that you are getting this email is confirmation. The train of destiny is on the tracks. To stay still is like to standing on the tracks, pleading for permission while the engine barrels at you. The train is your signal. The selected one. Heaven is saying, now take one step. Any step, even if it appears insignificant or illogical. Your stride in the dark wakes God's light, which illuminates the way forward. Anchor it with your words. Declare that I am the action. Your identity has been waiting for far too long. Today, however, things alter. Today, you said that I am the action. That is not arrogance. That is consistent with the plan God has placed inside you. Allow me to be transparent with you. For years, I assumed that humility meant waiting, sitting back and stating, if it's meant to be, it will be. However, humility should not equal inactivity. Humility equals obedience. Obedience is messy. It seems like they are making the phone call with trembling hands. It seems like you are starting the project with a half-formed notion. It looks like you are entering the arena with your armor still damaged. That is surrender, understanding that God's might is perfected through weakness. The alternative to quiet waiting is inspired action, not frenzy, hustling, or rushing outcomes. It is responding to the Holy Whisper's gentle invitation to call that person. Write a line, send an email, create that plan. These are well-timed breadcrumbs. You are not expected to complete the whole house tonight. You are continuously encouraged to install the first brick. I've seen heaven respond to little actions. I never imagined writing just one simple song and presenting one story. A single act of obedience has the potential to change the course of seasons. However, God pours life into movement. The universe does not collaborate with reluctance. It works alongside faith and action. So, will you take advantage of this chance, or will you pass it up? This is the last day, and you will awaken tomorrow in the same circle of almost pleasure. The question is, will you say yes? Return to the chosen one. Breathe deeply right now. Inhale the truth. Exhale the fear. Please whisper to me, I am the action. This is more than simply a word. It is a pact. It is your soul, telling heaven you're finished waiting, that you are going forward, that you are willing to co-create the future written for you. And, as you said, yes, as you rise beyond passive waiting, understand that the opposition will not just release you without struggle. As soon as you escape one trap, another will appear, camouflaged as the language of healing and self-love. If you are not cautious, it will get you before you realize you have moved on. But before we take that opportunity to reflect, the transformation has already begun. The mood is different. Your heart beats faster. Your spirit is aware that heaven has aligned with your yes, chosen one. Pay careful attention. When you finally break away from passive waiting, the enemy often tempts you into something pleasant, moderate, or even holy. Although it seems to be development, it is really a prison. It's the trap of never-ending repairs. Initially, it seems correct. You tell yourself that you cannot walk with purpose until you have fully recovered. I can't open my heart till every scar is removed. I won't be able to enjoy plenty until all curses are broken. It seems sophisticated, yet it is a deception. This trap encourages you to feel that healing is a destination, while in fact it is a journey meant to move you forward. I know because I lived it. There was a point when my whole life seemed like treatment. Journals filled with anguish, hours spent reflecting on the past, yet nothing changed. Why? Healing had become my identity. I was no longer God's vessel, prepared for destiny. I was the wounded party, rehearsing previous narratives. The selected one. Your wounds are genuine, yet they don't carry your name. Healing is sacred. However, it was never meant to be a permanent residence. Wounds are not altars. They are teachers. The enemy recognizes he cannot prevent you from seeking wholeness. So he converts the operation into an endless loop. You become fixated with what has harmed you, investing your energy on the past rather than living for the future. This trap seems to be fruitful. You say I'm performing the job, but look at the fruit. Do you feel more calm, joyful, and creative? Or do you still feel the same pain? Healing isn't meant to change you. It is supposed to set you free. The real question is not, am I healed enough? Rather, am I willing to live despite my scars? I once met someone who remembered every aspect of her tragedy. She could detail each trigger and wound. However, her life remained same because she had built her whole identity around being broken. The selected one. Your scars aren't shackles. Here are your credentials. They indicate what you've been through. They prove the oil you're transporting. So this is your announcement. My scars are my powers. Say it loudly. Write it down. Keep it in your spirit. Everything changes when you stop hiding your wounds and instead utilize them as a source of strength. The world doesn't need another broken soul analyzing agony. The world needs the treatment that only your wounds can deliver. The solution to never-ending healing is integration, not denial. True healing happens in action. You don't need to be healed before you can live. You live. And in life, you heal. You heal. When an old trigger appears and you choose a new response, you heal. You recuperate when your suffering turns into compassion for others. When you confront your concerns, your past no longer rules you. I remember the first time I offered encouragement while still in agony. Something unexpected happened. My words also served to heal me. Each act of service improved my spirit. Healing was never just about me. It was about releasing what I'd learned from the fire. The selected one. God never said, "Wait until you are perfect." Instead, He said, "My power is perfected in weakness." If you wait for total recovery, you will be waiting indefinitely. However, if you act with faith, even if you are limping, you will find strength inside yourself that you never imagined imaginable. Stop questioning what else has to be repaired. Instead, wake up asking, "How can I serve with what I already have?" This question exposes destiny. It shifts your emphasis from the past to the future. It converts your scars from excuses into weapons. Imagine if every scarred warrior stood today and served with everything they had. The earth trembled. That is why your opponent wants to keep you here. Because of the time you announced, "My scars are my talents," and you become unstoppable. The selected one. Breathe in the truth. Allow it to settle. You are not the wound. You are the warrior who endured the wound and lived. Your scars do not suggest shame. These are the indications of survival. They signify that you were chosen. Now hear this. The trap of permanent healing is slipping under your feet. You aren't staying here. You're moving forward. And when you progress, the next exam will be shinier, smarter, and disguised as knowledge. It will explain how knowing is the same as changing. However, this is another illusion. It is the danger of intellectual spirituality, the impulse to continue studying without achieving truth. But first, pause to feel the interior metamorphosis. Heaven is already moving. The atmosphere has changed since you revealed your scars to be strong. You've broken an old cycle. You emerge from the cave, and the fight is shifting in your favor. The selected one. Take courage. What made you shatter does not define you. The manner in which God utilizes you defines you. What motivated you to improve the world? Say it again, with conviction. My scars are my powers. And now, selected one, take a bold step towards the next revelation. Hear me clearly. The third trap is sophisticated, thoughtful, and subtle. It whispers to you that if you only learn, study, and analyze enough, change will happen. However, this is a fiction. This is the flaw of intellectual spirituality, the illusion of knowing without manifestation. I refer to it as the temptation to become a spiritual library rather than a spiritual combatant. You collect books, highlight sections, recall words to quote, consult gurus, and debate religion and ideologies. On the surface, it seems fantastic. People may look up to you, but deep down you know you're stuck in the same habits. You're talking about emancipation while yet shackled. I am aware of this pitfall since I have personally encountered it. My bookshelves were once piled high with journals, my playlists were jam-packed with spiritual podcasts, and my vocabulary was replete with religious terms. However, my life was devoid of fruits. I might speak about surrender, but I remained restless. I could teach a lot. However, my pockets remained empty. I could explain forgiveness, yet bitterness hung hard on my chest. My lips expressed knowledge. Nonetheless, my heart stayed intact. The selected one. This trap is dangerous since it seems beneficial. Your ego enjoys it. The ego loves feeling important thanks to knowledge, which inflates. But love, as embodied, evolves. Heaven won't reward your bookshelves. Heaven rewards your faithfulness. Consider it this way. Consider standing before a locked fence for years. You study the lock. You create a schematic of its shape. You debate which keys could work. However, you never try to use the key. That's the trap. Infinite study, no action. Destiny is never unlocked. How do you know if you've been apprehended here? Ask yourself, do I read about prayer more than I really pray? Do I mention meditation? But should we avoid silence? Do I repeat passages to others while never abandoning them when difficulty strikes? If so, you've fallen into the trap of knowing about God but not knowing Him. The universe does not need new experts. It calls for conduits. Heaven is seeking real witnesses, not talking heads. The fruit of wisdom is not your words, but your transformation. People must observe your life and sample each piece of fruit that passes. Understanding, courage in the midst of a fire, compassion when revenge would be easier. The selected one. The antidote is extreme simplicity. Take away the clutter. Choose one. Practice and embrace it with dedication. Not 10, not 21. Perhaps it's 5 minutes of quiet before the sunrise. Perhaps Thanksgiving is documented in a notebook every day. Perhaps when done with sincerity, it is stillness rather than emotion. A single seed develops into a whole tree. I remember when I stopped reading about forgiveness and really forgave someone. My entire body shook. My pride screamed, but I whispered the words, and I felt instantly lighter. That action had a larger influence on me than 10 years of education because embodiment is where heaven meets earth. Say it with me now. I am living knowledge. I don't know or carry knowledge, yet I am. Allow those words to penetrate your spirit. Wisdom is no longer something found outside. You pursue. It becomes a part of your whole being. However, your ego will resist. It prefers libraries over altars. It would rather recite the truth than experience it. Heaven, on the other hand, does not use your notes to measure. Heaven looks for the mark of obedience etched into your choices. And a single choice taken in faith is more powerful than 1,000 statements said in pride. So I challenge you for each hour spent consuming. Spend 1 hour practicing and reading about compassion. Go seek forgiveness, knowledge, and riches. Such generosity. Learn about prayer. Pray. Anchor. Truth in action. Make your life a chosen sermon. You are not meant to be a reservoir of information. You are called to be a vessel for God's living presence. Theories do not affect reality. It is transformed by embodied souls who bring light into every area of their daily lives. Say it again with conviction. I am the living wisdom. With such statements, you go from a theoretical student to a living testimony. This is the point when heaven mocks you for being trustworthy. I've seen people break free from this prison and suddenly accelerate. Why? Because heaven now had a vessel rather than a commentary. Once you accept even one fact, the doors were locked. Swing open. Opportunities come. Favor flows. Alignment happens. Beloved, chosen one, your destiny does not need you to know everything. It is necessary that you embody something. Living even one truth genuinely empowers you more than the sharpest scholar who never takes action. Today, make this pronouncement your anchor. I am the living wisdom. Live it. Walk it. Allow it to shine through your presence. And when you come out of this trap, prepare yourself, because the following fallacy focuses on your emotions rather than your mind. It will be disguised as belonging, community, and comfort. But there is another snare. For the time being, just breathe. You are no longer a collector. You are a carrier. You are not just informed. You've changed. Heaven smiles because you choose to live, not only for the chosen one. Pay careful attention. You have already gone through fire. You have experienced the paralysis of waiting. Dismantle the never-ending healing cycle and break free from intellectual pride. However, the route is growing more narrow. The next trap is more delicate and emotional, because it addresses your fundamental human desire, the desire to belong. The fourth trap is known as the spiritual echo chamber. It is disguised as community, soul, family, and connection. It seems to be comfy, calming, and reassuring. However, it might become the most subtle prison for your feelings. You see the chosen one as you awaken. Life may be lonely. Old friends may not understand you. Family members may dismiss you. You begin speaking a new language of light and purpose, but others do not grasp it. So when you meet individuals who understand, the relief becomes addicting. Finally, some people nod when you mention energy fluctuations, spiritual battles, or divine timing. It feels like home. It is often the case initially. Community is beneficial when it lifts you up. However, the trap comes when society moves from a launch pad to a cage. When the group's affirmation takes priority over your soul's voice, when the group's beliefs overpower your own judgment, membership becomes bondage. The selected one. I've seen a group of people who once promoted development now enforce homogeneity. If the leader proclaims this directive to be true, no one dares to question it. If the tribe agrees on a diet, philosophy, or prophecy, You must comply or be expelled. Your true connection to God's voice is gradually filtered via communal approval. The most dangerous aspect is that you are completely unaware of what is happening. Although it seems to be love, it is really control. It feels like a family, but it's a compromise. And, eventually, the fire of your unique calling diminishes under the weight of consensus. Anointed One, you were never told to fit in. You were charged with standing out, taking the lead, and forging new roads. Others are scared of walking. That means you'll have to walk alone throughout certain seasons. Do not mix loneliness with abandonment. Sometimes events occur beyond of your control in order to strengthen your spiritual backbone and ensure that your loyalty belongs to God rather than the herd. Listen to me. True community appreciates your autonomy. It is unafraid of your differences. If a group asks you to silence your voice in order to participate, it is no longer a community. It is incarceration. I've taken this test myself. Years ago, I was part of a group that initially supported me, but I soon discovered I was concealing my ideas since they didn't fit the narrative. I disregarded the prophetic nudges in my spirit because I did not want to lose touch. God continued, "If you choose their approval over my assignment, you will forfeit your crown." That knowledge stunned me, and I wanted to leave. And as soon as I did, knowledge flooded in, like sunlight breaking through clouds. The selected one. This is your test. Now, will you cling to comfort or choose sovereignty? Will you trade divine instruction for earthly applause? Will you dare to travel the lonely route to the throne? Extreme self-trust is the antidote for this trap. Declare it immediately. I am my own North Star. Say it loudly. Leave a comment. This is your vow to follow the compass God placed inside you. Even if no one else understands, you are not rejecting love. You refuse to allow love to take control. When you create this reality, the community transforms. You may belong without being constrained. You can connect without conforming. You may love deeply while being true to yourself. That is true. Freedom, the selected one. Recognize that leaders are not shaped in echo chambers. Leaders are developed via silent, wilderness, and lonely obedience. Moses was alone on the mountain. Elijah was alone in the cave. Prior to each important mission, Jesus spent time alone in the wilderness. There is a division, and in that solitude, you realize your unshakable clarity. So don't worry. Do not oppose God's call to move away from the familiar. If the nest seems to be quite tight, you are about to fly higher than the group ever imagined. Take courage. Anointed One, your trip is valuable, even if it is alone. You are not lost. You are being directed. You weren't abandoned. You are being anointed. And the silence surrounding you isn't empty. It is filled with God's voice, instructing you to follow Him without reservation. So let me leave you with this charge. Love your area, but do not idealize it. Respect your tribe, but never give them your compass. Cherish your belongings, but never give up your spirit. Say it once more. I am my own North Star. With these words, you express your unwavering dedication to the divine inside. This is not the general consensus around you. That is how you break down this trap and go on. Sovereign, complete, and free. Now, prepare yourself. The selected one. Because, after you've regained your sovereignty, the next trap will come from your energy rather than your emotions. It will test your ability to manage your own life energy. Be ready. The fifth trap is waiting. The selected one. Listen, you have broken out from the echo chamber of conformity throughout your whole life. However, the challenge has become more serious. It penetrates your energy field and joins the holy flow of existence. God has trusted you. The next trap is subtle. The world honors virtue. However, it consumes you more than any opponent could. It's the trap of unjustified pity disguised as sympathy. The selected one. You feel everything. You were born sensitive. You can sense the gravity in a room before anybody says anything. When you look into a friend's eyes, you can feel her anguish in your heart. Hearing about world disasters impacts your soul. This isn't some random gift. It is evidence of your anointing. Your empathy reveals that you are a carrier of light. However, if that gift is not used properly, it may be used against you. This trap tells you that in order to be kind and spiritual, you should never close your heart. It whispers that limitations are selfish, and that in order to fully serve, you must absorb the anguish of others, even if it means sacrificing yourself. So you spend hours listening to people spout vitriol. You answer every call, even if your spirit is exhausted. You give money, time, and energy to those who do not appreciate it. And you wonder why you feel so empty, drained, and powerless. The selected one. Hear the truth. Compassion is total, but self-abandonment is sin. The world will appreciate you for your unwavering accessibility and generosity. However, heaven is waiting to see whether you would honor your own energy temple. Your energy is not commonplace. It is sanctified. This is the second temple, and no shrine should be open to every thief, defiler, and careless visitor. Consider Jesus the Anointed One. Crowds flocked around him, yet he frequently went to lonely places to pray. Even the Son of God preserved his vigor. Why? Because you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You can't fix the world without first healing yourself. This trap convinces you that drowning with others is admirable, yet true compassion is not drowning. Standing firm on the beach and shining your light reminds them how to swim. This is a dilemma I am quite acquainted with. There was a period when I couldn't say no. People would call me all day and night, dumping their problems on me. At first, I felt useful, but I soon realized I was exhausted. My prayers were faint, my vision clouded, and God responded calmly. You have mistaken pity for compassion. My sympathy bolsters your pity drain. That understanding altered my life forever. The selected one. The enemy relishes receiving unjustified sympathy, because you cannot create, produce, or lead if your energy is leaking. You're too busy repairing other people's boats when your own is sinking. This is not a service. This is sabotage. So what is the antidote? It denotes the sacred bounds. It is sympathetic detachment. It is the ability to express, I understand your pain. I appreciate your journey, but I will not carry your weight for you. This is not coldness. It's about respect. Respect your own temple and their God-given capacity to heal themselves. The selected one. Declare it immediately. My energy is like a second temple. Write it. Speak it. Feel it as you declare it. Imagine being encircled by a golden light barrier, impenetrable to everything else than love, neither truth nor light. This barrier does not separate you. It sanctifies you. It keeps you pure, so that what comes out of you is divine abundance, rather than weary parts from practice. This includes learning to say no without feeling guilty. It requires avoiding low-frequency talks. It requires cleansing your energy on a regular basis via prayer, meditation, or symbolic actions. It requires assessing who has gained admission into your inner circle, because not everyone has access to the Holy of Holies inside you. And, without a doubt, people will resist once these boundaries are established. They will accuse you of being selfish. They will make you feel guilty. But see clearly, this is the test. Are you dedicated to your cause or their approval? Every no in love is a yes to your destiny. When you preserve your energy, something extraordinary happens. Your vitality returns. You are quite creative. Your judgment improves. You now have enough to construct what God has commanded you to build. That is when heaven may have more trust in you, since you have proved your capacity to protect what you carry. The selected one. Your sensitivity is comprehensive, yet heavenly skills need holy boundaries. Stop allowing the world to feed off of your light. Be a lighthouse, not a sponge. Shine, but do not soak. Love, but do not abandon yourself. Guard your temple, because it is the source of the river of life that God has placed inside you. And if you stay firm on this, you will be ready for the next trap. Because once your energy is caught, the opponent will attempt a different strategy. It will transport you into the skies of your imagination, neglecting the earth under your feet. This is the danger of sacrificing the now for the promise of the future. And the Anointed One is who we will face next. The selected one. The battlefield has moved again. You've protected your energy, set sacred boundaries, and reclaimed your temple. However, another trap awaits. One wears the most magnificent disguise. It isn't dark, heavy, or obviously harmful. In reality, it radiates inspiration, hope, and vision. However, it is a thief of destiny. It is the trap of living in the future while disregarding the present. One was picked under the banners of ascension and divine hope. It whispers, "You know this trap well. The new earth is on its way. Everything will be amazing. Soon, there will be no bills, inconvenience, or disagreements. Only brightness, peace, and tranquility." This vision is not false. It is real. Heaven's blueprint is functioning. However, the danger comes from escaping inside that vision. Many awakened spirits get here after abandoning their existing responsibilities. They constantly fixate on 5 realities while disregarding their worldly responsibilities. They discuss cosmic download codes. Nonetheless, their households are unorganized. They imagine global harmony. However, their personal relationships remain tense. They say it does not matter since we will be ascending soon. But this is not faith. This is avoidance. The selected one. God gave you a body, a home, a job, and a family. They are more of a training field than a recreational area. Your humanness is not a mistake. It is the sacred workshop where heaven and earth meet. To disregard your humanity in the pursuit of spirituality is to reject the altar that God has built for your growth. Listen to me. Ascension is not an escape route. This is a construction project. You are also part of the building team. You cannot sit on the sidelines with plans for a wonderful city while refusing to shovel bricks today. The new earth will not just emerge from the clouds. It will be built via the choices you make, the discipline you keep, and the love you have right now. The selected one. I am quite conscious of this temptation. There were times when I want to fly in delusions of grandeur and ignore the everyday. Ignore the money, my health, my duties. It seems spiritual to disconnect. But each time, paradise lured me back. If you can't handle your current riches, how will you manage your future wealth? That question pierced me. I found that daily fidelity, rather than wishful thinking, awakens the golden future. This trap encourages you to postpone compliance. It urges you to wait for the right season, the optimal indicator, the appropriate moment. But please listen. Faith does not wait for events to align. Faith is planting seeds in tough soil and trusting God to produce growth. If you hate little beginnings, you'll never attain big conclusions. The selected one. The solution to this problem is religious practicality. It is opting to treat every aspect of your 3D life as if you were paying off all of your obligations, which is both responsibility and spiritual stewardship. Providing nutrients to your body is not a habit. It is communication with the vessel that God has given you. Repairing relationships is not a diversion. As previously said, this is the training ground for divine love. Now I'm in heaven on earth. Type, speak, and experience it. You aren't waiting for heaven to arrive. You give it life via your choices, actions, and presence. Heaven is more than simply a place. It's an atmosphere you create at home, at work, and in your talks. The selected one. This pronouncement is dangerous for the opposition because if you manifest paradise here, you will be unstoppable. You are no longer waiting for miracles. You become the miracle. You no longer crave for light. You radiate it. You are no longer fantasizing about the future. You do it one brick at a time, every day. And yes, it demands daring. It is necessary to wake up early to pray when your body feels tired. When chaos becomes tolerable, you must arrange your home. Because silence seems to be safer, it is necessary to have unpleasant conversations. However, they serve as the kingdom's core underpinnings. When a normal task is completed in line with God's schedule, it becomes holy. Listen to me. Do not dismiss this day of little happenings. Do not give up your humanity in pursuit of divinity. Your humanity is the conduit through which divinity flows. When you clean, plan, and steward, paradise invades earth, and your desired future becomes a reality. However, it will not fall on the passive. It will be built with daring, and you are one of them. You feel the pull of tomorrow so strongly because you need to anchor it today. So rise. Choose one aspect of your life that you have neglected: health, finances, home, or crafts. Put your soul into it. Create beauty where there was disorder, discipline where there was delay, and paradise on earth via the most fundamental act of stewardship. And while you're doing this, watch how heaven responds. The doors open. Provision flows. Ideas emerge because heaven interacts with individuals who cherish what they already have. The selected one. Your future is bright, but the present serves as a seedbed. Don't disregard it. Do not float away from it. Make this a reality. Anchor it. Declare it. I am happy on earth. And after you've acknowledged this reality, you'll face the last trap. The ultimate illusion is designed to keep you little, even after you've passed each test. It is subtle and camouflaged as humility, but it may be the most destructive of all. Be ready. For now, we enter the seventh and last trap, the selected one. We finish the final exam. You have removed waiting, limitless healing, intellectual pride, echo chambers, energy leakage, and future bypassing. Every battle has refined, sharpened, and prepared you. But now comes the last, most awful trap. The dangers of hiding your genius beneath the guise of humility. The selected one. This trap speaks quietly, almost lovingly. It states, stay small. Do not draw attention. Don't shine too brightly. True spirituality. Quiet. Hidden. Modest. It sounds noble. It sounds safe. However, it is a deceit, designed to damage the exact reason you were sent here. Hear me? Your genius was never meant to be hidden. Heaven has spent years and decades pruning, refining, breaking, and reassembling, so that you may shine. Not for vanity, not for praise, but someone out there is drowning in darkness, frantically seeking a ray of light. And the flicker represents you. However, this trap convinces you to place a basket over your light. You write a poem, but never share it. You develop the notion, but never communicated it. You create the solution, but someone else takes credit. You've persuaded yourself that this demonstrates humility, that this is holy and authentic. Humility is not hiding. True humility is allowing God's light to shine through you without distortion. Anointed one, I have wrestled here firsthand. I used to keep God's teachings to myself out of fear of being considered arrogant or misunderstood. But every time I kept silent, I felt the weight of lives I might have saved slip through my fingers, until one night in prayer, I heard it plainly. Withholding your gift does not demonstrate humility. Disobedience devastated me, and I saw that concealing did not protect me. Rather, it robbed others. The selected one. This is the difficulty you are presently facing. Will you bury your talents, like the fearful servant in the parable, or will you develop them? Will you play it safe? Will you shine brightly? The world needs your voice, creativity, ideas, and vision. Some people are unable to proceed till they step out into the open. You must make a choice. Which do you value more, safety or obedience? This trap is brilliant because it makes you feel secure. It claims that by hiding, you might avoid jealousy, criticism, and persecution. However, just one was chosen. Your light was intended to be used in opposition. Your anointing was made to be resistant. Don't be scared to be noticed. Fear wasting what God has supplied. You can hear it clearly. Your light is not in your possession. The sky is fading. It is to reject the donor. You aren't shining for yourself. You are a beacon of light for those seeking direction. When you hide, they will stumble. When you shine, they will rise. The selected one. Declare it. Now I'm the light, and I am ready to shine. Speak it out, write it down, and declare it. This is not arrogance. It's all about alignment. You are agreeing to what heaven has already decided. And here's the key. Shine does not indicate perfection. It does not mean waiting until your work is flawless. Your message enhanced your trip. Certainly, it requires going out with what you have now. Share the music, even if it shakes. Offer your counsel, even if your voice is trembling. Launch the initiative, even if it seems little, for obedience in the small leads to enormous practical courage. Posting that thought online, praying openly when you'd prefer remain silent, and sharing your experience even if it exposes you. When you choose exposure over fear, every little, visible act helps to break the cycle. Heaven expands your reach. The selected one. You have not been called to stay invisible. You are intended to stand out. This isn't ego. This is an assignment. The lamp belonged on the stand, not in the basket. When you place it on the stand, it illuminates the pathways. You are not capable of walking on your own. Certainly, someone will talk. Some will criticize. Some individuals will misunderstand. Some will feel jealous. However, their answer is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to obey. Obedience to shine, whatever of the cost. I tell you this as someone who has been through it. Heaven will assist you as you go out. Resources arise. Allies emerge. Platforms open not because you push them, but because you've shown commitment. Hiding keeps the door closed. Dazzling opens it. So here we are. The selected one is on the verge of the last trap. You were tested while waiting. Healing, comprehension, connection, vigor, and vision. You are now being tested for courage. Will you shine or shrink? Heaven is watching. The earth is groaning. People assigned to your voice are waiting. And God is whispering, do not hide any longer. The selected one. This is your moment. Lift the basket. Break the muzzle. Step outdoors. Shine. Remember, it is not about you. It is about the kingdom. It's about the mission. It's about how light can pierce darkness. Say it again with all your heart. I am the light, and I am ready to shine. This is the last key. This is the last test. The last breakthrough. You are ready. Heaven confirmed it. And the gates open before you. The selected one. We have reached the end of this journey. You've met 7 traps, each one more cunning than the previous. You're still standing. Do you perceive the influence of what has happened? Heaven has led you step by step through the revelation exam. This is not just another message. This is an activation or divine commission for the chosen one. Have a peek back along the journey. You tried to be patient, but you chose action. You attempted to drown in infinite healing, but instead chose integration. You attempted to become a knowledge collector, but you chose knowledge. Embodied. You attempted to hide in echo chambers, but you chose sovereignty. You intended to leak energy, but you chose to safeguard your temple. You were tempted. Escape to the future, yet you want to create in the present. You attempted to suppress your light, but you chose to shine. This is after victory. And now the gates are open for you. This was not about surviving traps. It was about becoming the type of vessel that could carry heaven's purpose without compromising. You are not the same person you were when you initially began. The old limits have been burned away. Illusions have fallen like shattered glass. What you see here now is a chosen one, tested by fire and ready for the mantle of grandeur. The selected one. Now is the moment for prophetic commissioning. Heaven is calling you out of hiding and into the limelight, out of planning and into action, out of postponement and into destiny. The time for training wheels is past. The season of wildness is ended. You're coming close to accomplishing your ambitions. I feel the Spirit is telling me you were born at this exact time. This is your Easter moment, your Joseph moment. This is your David moment. Every rejection, every setback, every lonely night was part of the overall paradise that encircled your destiny. The scaffolding is now crumbling down. Your calling structure is lofty, unshakable, and anointed. The world does not need any extra theories. It demands your presence. It does not need another disguised combatant. It needs a visible light carrier. This is why you escaped the fire. That is why you have experienced grief and refinement. You are a vessel in which heaven may invest its confidence. Now listen with your spirit. Even now, more oil is being thrown on you. It is the oil of courage, clarity, and heavenly authority. It will not allow you to shrink farther. It will not enable you to hide. This oil symbolizes the scent of royalty, the mantle of leadership, and the courage of pioneers. You have been charged with delivering heaven to earth, not sometime or later. Now, select one. This is not just about you. It is about how others will rise as a result of your success. It's about families that will be healed because you refuse to remain silent. It's about future generations who will profit from your refusal to bury your talent. You are the pivot around which destiny swings. Your obedience today opens opportunity for many tomorrows. So what do you do first? Declare again, I am the light, and I am prepared to shine. Allow heaven to record your commitment. Allow your spirit to hear it. This is your agreement with destiny. Second, do one visible act of courage during the next 24 hours. Share your gift. Say the truth. Develop your vision. Do not delay. Every act of obedience, the momentum of heaven. And third, surrender. Not passive surrender via waiting, but active surrender as a warrior who lays every plan at God's feet and says, "Use me as you will. My life is yours. My light is yours. My mission is yours." This isn't a vulnerability. This is the ultimate power, because no one can resist the allure of paradise. The selected one. You've entered an expedited season. Doors that were previously locked will spring open. Provisions that were postponed will overflow. Opportunities you thought you'd missed will resurface, enhanced. Why? Because you are ready. You have shown loyalty. You chose light over fear. Do not shrink back now. Do not doubt what you are holding. This is the culmination, the crossover and